You're listening to The Jake Asman Show on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Jake Asman.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
I got confidence in myself, of course, but I got confidence in the ownership and all the way down through these new coaches and the players. I think I've heard from multiple sources how talented this team is, but maybe the pieces just didn't align. So I'm so excited to get in there and then just try and figure out what we can do to make it better. I know this is a team game. You can go from a losing season one year to a winning season the next. You can flip it real quick. So I'm excited to get in there and help make this thing work.
And that was Zach Wilson talking about being a Jet. It has finally happened. The Jets have their new franchise quarterback, so they think. Zach Wilson goes second overall to the Jets, and that was just the beginning of what has been a remarkable draft for the New York Jets for a variety of different reasons. To put it in perspective, the Jets, over the last 5 drafts before Joe Douglas took over, took 5 players that played offense that were not quarterbacks in the top 4. Mike McCagnon, 5 in 5 drafts. Non-quarterback offensive players taken in the top 4 rounds. Mike McCagnon, 5 in 5 drafts. Joe Douglas, 7 in 2 drafts. 7. So everyone that said Sam Darnold had nothing to throw to, nothing to work with, well, that's all going to change for Zach Wilson. And I have never been so excited coming out of a draft than I am as a Jet fan after this past draft. I think the Jets are crushing this weekend. They really are. They have gone out there and they landed their franchise quarterback. And then they went out there and traded up into the first round to get arguably the best guard in the class, in Elijah Vera Tucker at a USC. So you have Wilson and Tucker in round 1. Last time the Jets traded up to get a player in the first round, his name was Darrelle Revis. It's worked before. And good teams that have draft capital identify a player they could get, and they go get that player. And that's Tucker. So putting Tucker on this Jets offensive line next to Mekhi Becton, all of a sudden your left side of that line is as good as potentially any in the NFL. We'll see how it works out. Becton's already, though, a top 5 tackle. It could be even better than that. And Vera Tucker was one of the safest prospects on people's boards. Meaning that maybe he's not an all-time great, but he's not going to be a bust. The bust rate is low for Elijah Vera Tucker. So you get Wilson help immediately. And then what do? Day 2, second round, 34th overall pick. You got a guy in Elijah Moore to play wide receiver for you. Elijah Moore, some thought, was going to be a first-round pick. The fact that he fell to number 34 for the Jets, I'm ecstatic. I thought maybe they'd go offensive lineman there, and I'd have no issue with that. Even if they traded out and picked up maybe another third, moved down 5 to 7 spots, I'd have no issue there. But the fact that they're adding Elijah Moore to go with Tucker and Wilson, the Jets used 3 picks in the top 34 on offense. Finally, Mike McCagnon would have taken like some defensive tackle at pick 34. You win in the NFL by scoring points. The Jets have had the 32nd ranked offense the last 2 years. You bring in Mike LaFleur to run your offense. You're going to run a Shanahan West Coast style offense. You need playmakers. You need talent. And the Jets have lacked talent for far too long. This was exactly what they had to do. You signed Corey Davis in free agency. Now you add Elijah Moore to go with the receivers you already had on the roster, and Denzel Mims and Jamison Crowder. And the Jets actually have capable weapons for a young quarterback to come in and have success. Every move the Jets make from this point on has to be about giving Zach Wilson a chance to succeed. And they're finally doing it. Pinch me, I must be dreaming. The Jets have addressed offense. And then what do they do in round 4? They draft Michael Carter at a UNC. Michael Carter was a highly regarded running back. You know who his comp is in the NFL? Leon Washington, who ironically enough made the pick for the Jets. How cool is that? This guy can impact on special teams, in the screen game, as a third down running back, playmakers. The Jets need them. They now have several of them. You just wonder, what's Sam Darnold thinking if he's watching the Jets draft? This should have been done 3 years ago. damn you, Mike McCagnon. I mean, Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder, Elijah Moore. Wow. There's talent on that offense. There's going to be better coaching up that offense. I mean, the Jets have made a statement that this is not the same old Jets, that Joe Douglas actually cares about fixing an offense that has been a disgrace for years. A disgrace. I mean, the Jets have neglected offense for far too long. How about this stat about drafting offensive linemen for the Jets? From 2000 to 2019, you know how many offensive linemen the Jets have drafted in the first round? So that's 19 years. 2. And it came in the same draft, 2006. They drafted DeBrickashaw Ferguson and Nick Mangold. How'd that work out? 2 All-Pros. Yeah, I'd say it worked out pretty well for the Jets. That was the foundation for those Jets teams that went to the championship game back-to-back years. So, once again, from 2000 to 2019, the Jets have drafted 2 linemen in the first round. Over the last 2 years, Joe Douglas has already matched that total. Mekhi Becton last year, Elijah Vera Tucker this year. I mean, the Jets have actually surrounded their young quarterback with protection and talent. You might say, Jake, isn't that the obvious thing to do? Yeah, it is. And the Jets haven't done it for years. Sam Darnold was failed for that exact reason. But Jake, what about the defense? The Jets defense needs help too. Yeah, but their offense needs even more help. Because you know what? The Jets defense will automatically be improved because Robert Saleh is coaching them. He's a defensive-minded head coach. The Jets defense will automatically be improved when you get C.J. Mosley back, when you get Quinnen Williams entering his 3rd year, when you add Carl Lawson and Sheldon Rankins and LaMarcus Joyner and Vinny Curry and Jared Davis in free agency. The Jets used free agency to patch together the defense. Now they're using the draft to help their young rookie quarterback. And by the way, free agency is not over. Jets could still sign Steven Nelson, Richard Sherman, bring back Brian Poole. They could still fill that need at cornerback. They're not done there. But this was a draft that they needed to have. And it's rare when you see all the national pundits actually giving the Jets credit. I got a couple texts from some people saying, wow, the Jets are crushing it. I spoke to one scout that told me that Elijah Moore might end up being the steal of the draft. I hope he's right. Elijah Moore is a weapon. They could use him all over the place. And sometimes you just need the draft talent. And the Jets said they had Elijah Moore as a top 25 player, and he was there at number 34. You got to take that type of guy. So I'm in love with what the Jets have done. I really am. If they had taken a tackle at 34, okay. Tevin Jenkins makes sense. They traded out. Okay, I'm good with it. Instead, you go get a player in Elijah Moore that's going to help you day one. Day one. When was the last time the Jets actually had some impact players? When was the last time the Jets actually were this aggressive in helping their quarterback have success? It's been far too long. And there's just too many people, by the way, that are still going to be like, well, what about the defense? Yes, you got to draft everything. But offense was far more important. And free agency is far from over. Yeah, there are some people that would complain, by the way, if the Jets won the Super Bowl 45-3. There would be people that complain they allowed 3 points and didn't have a shutout. That's just how it's going to be with this franchise because they haven't won. So people just refuse to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm going to tell you this. Joe Douglas is not Mike McCagnon. He's not John Izek. This is the best setup the Jets have had from front office to coach in a long time. They're being run by like a competent organization. And that's all you can ask for. All you can ask for is to give Zach Wilson a chance. And that's what the Jets have done. Elijah Vera Tucker, Elijah Moore, and Michael Carter are immediately going to help Zach Wilson. Immediately. And Zach Wilson has all the talent in the world to be successful. You just got to help him reach the level he should. And if you watched any of the videos the Jets put out after they've made the calls to their draft picks, you get the coach, the GM, the owner saying, we welcome you to the team. We're great to have you. One line I thought was really important from Robert Saleh when he was talking to Zach Wilson. And that line was, our organization's going to lift you up, not the other way around. And that's how it should be. because they failed the last quarterback. And that can't happen this time around. But the Jets entered this draft. They had 21 picks over the next 2 years, 10 in this draft. And they were aggressive to get Vera Tucker. They stayed at 34 to get a great prospect in Elijah Moore. And then adding Michael Carter in round 4. I think Jet fans are really going to like Michael Carter. I think he's that explosive playmaker, X-factor type of guy in this offense that is going to be an immediate contributor. You can never have enough running backs that could do a bunch of different things. Between Carter, LaMichael Pirine, Tevin Coleman, they actually have a decent running back room. So I've been really happy with what they've done. You know, it's easy to just say, the Jets, they're never going to get it right. But you know what? Eventually, bad teams, if you get the right management in place, they turn things around. Look at some of the other teams in New York. The Knicks were a laughingstock forever. Now they're not. Why is that? Oh, Leon Rose comes in. He hires Tom Thibodeau. Now look at the Knicks. Might host a playoff round this year when they were projected to win 22 games. Islanders, laughingstock in the NHL. Till they hired Lou Lamoriello, and then he hired Barry Trotz. Now they're a Stanley Cup contender 3 years after that move, after going to the Final Four a year ago. Teams don't stay laughingstocks forever if you hire the right people. And I've said since they hired Joe Douglas that the Jets have the right GM. We'll find out what Saleh is as a head coach. But I'll tell you what, can't be worse than the last guy. Can't be worse than Adam Gase. So I think if you're a Jet fan, you should be excited about what we've seen so far. It's been a very, very encouraging first couple days of the NFL draft. And this team is far from a finished product, but the future is looking up for Zach Wilson and the New York Jets. Agree or disagree? On the phones, 800-224-2004. That's 800-224-2004. You also can tweet me your thoughts. I'm on Twitter, Jake Asman on Twitter, at Jake Asman. That's JakeAsman. Coming up next, we'll take your calls on the Jets and the NFL draft, and we will get into what's going on in Green Bay. Ugly news coming out of Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers wanting out from the Packers, plus a very intriguing report from Yahoo Sports about what Aaron Rodgers wants if he is to actually show up and play for the Packers once again. We'll get to that next. Jake Asman with you here on a Saturday. This is the Jake Asman Show on Sports Map Radio.
The Athletic is delivering every sports story that